Hello and welcome to the channel. My name's Vincent and I'm coming to you from the UK. Now, I'm not a doctor. None of this is medical advice. This may be the ramblings of a madman. But in this video, Professor Thomas Seyfried will explain why 1984 was a significant year. And stick around to the end for a nice little bonus from me. I give you Professor Thomas Seyfried.
It's ideological dogma. It's not any different than a religion or a political persuasion. You're not going to get a person of Jewish religion to accept Islam any more than you're going to get someone who practices Islam to accept Judaism as the. This is what we call ideological dogma. It's a solidification of the brain's thinking along certain lines. And political, there's political things that Democrats, Republicans, but people are led into these ideological states, supported by a large amount of data, of course. When Warburg was battling this out in the 1930s, 40s, and 50s, the field discovered DNA, and as the code directing protein and signaling sequences and activity, and everybody, like lemmings, ran off the cliff chasing all the code and the genes, and left Warburg behind, and the controversy that was associated with the biochemistry was left behind. And then, of course, several Nobel Prizes were awarded for oncogenes and tumor suppressor genes, and it made biology more quantitative. So everybody thought that was really cool and really exciting. And the NIH jumped into this bandwagon. And don't forget, in 1971, President Nixon declared the war on cancer, pushed by Mary Lasker, who said the government needs to play a bigger role in this cancer thing. So, and that was all pointed out in Sid Mukherjee's book, The Emperor of All Maladies. He does a very nice job about the history of cancer. But Nixon said, we're going to cure cancer, just, a big federal government project on this. And it wasn't happening as quickly as people thought, because that was 1971, and the cures weren't coming. So the NIH, National Cancer Institute, made a decision in 1984 that we should invite in the pharmaceutical companies that might accelerate the development of drugs. So that was 1984. The fox came into the henhouse in 1984.
Aha! Aha!
And then we started making all these different kinds of drugs, the genome projects. We started talking about precision medicine, personalized therapies, and all these kinds of things. And we said, people at that time felt that if we can map all the different mutations and chromosomal abnormalities in tumor cells, then we can make specific drugs to kill and target those things. Well, that never happened. It never happened because cancer is not a genetic disease, and it never will happen. So it's a massive detour that's unfortunately led to the inadvertent deaths of hundreds of millions of people around the world, because these drugs that were being developed from the pharmaceutical company, immunotherapies and all these kinds of things, they're all based on the somatic mutation theory. It's a genetic theory. It's not a genetic. I did nuclear transfer experiments. I did over and over. I did all kinds of experiments to show cancer cannot be a genetic disease. You have to be cognitively impaired.
Cognitively impaired? Cognitively impaired? No, what you really mean to say is fucking stupid. It's not 1,700 people a day dying. They're dying right around the world. Let's take a look. It's 2,914,835 as of the 16th of April 2024. That's how many people have died so far this year. Ideological dogma? Give me a break. I'm not having a go at the professor. I'm having a go at the cancer industry. The fucking morons.